Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education. Click the link for a free week trial, no credit card required, and gain access to our multiple live broadcasts daily, community chat room, educational videos, nightly watch lists, and more. Invest in your education and future and join the community today. Hey everyone, checking in on gold and a very tough day for the bulls to stomach after a big breakout overnight. Complete turnaround. The dollar bounced and continued to higher highs. The market exploded to the upside. Nobody saw this coming, and the market has a funny way of doing that, which is why I like to take a contrarian standpoint as often as I can, but obviously did not in this case. No one could see this one coming. So we're weak here on gold. We are still maintaining the uptrend on the daily time frame, but we have lost all moving averages as support. They're now all back to resistance. The weekly time frame is rejecting from the middle Bollinger Band resistance. After 4 weeks of upside, we're seeing weakness, and the bulls must hold some of these support levels. We'll look at them on the shorter term time frames here. Let's look at the hourly. Big breakout, and then gave it all back. And the big red flag was losing. It was actually a little bear flag here. Let's draw that out real quick. So a little bounce of a bear flag to the upside, and these are very rough trend lines, obviously. But rejecting from that level, seeing the continuation to the downside. As soon as we broke this low of 1290, that was the game over signal for the bulls today. There was no turning that trend around. They needed to form this higher low and then work on higher lows and higher highs recovering. And obviously they did not do that. And if you've been watching the correlation with the overall market and gold recently, it has been very strongly inverse. So the fact that SPY and the S&P 500 was exploding and running all day definitely had us looking to the bear miners. So the bull miners are in a bit of trouble. Let's zoom out here and look at the 4-hour chart. Giving back all of those gains, we need to hold 1267.90 ideally. If we lose that, we're coming down to 1261.38, and then we're in trouble because we only have a few support levels left. So the bulls really want to maintain this higher low and try and get back above 1300. Bullish reversal hammer on the 4-hour trying to be confirmed. We'll see if that's just another bear flag. Need to be aware of that every time. 5-minute chart gave a really nice trading opportunity today. This is a ascending triangle. This was that bounce attempt that led to a bear flag on the hourly. Higher lows, clear horizontal resistance line, 1290.49, 1290.52, 1290.45, and then a bearish break. And look at the reaction that followed for the next multiple hours, a couple hours here to the downside. Bears took over, and that was a clear 5-minute pattern break of an ascending triangle to the downside for continuation. So let's look at the bull miners, see if they're still clinging on to their important support. And there's that big gap open, filled the gap. We are still forming higher lows. Now we have a lower high to be watching as well. That's NUGT. JNUG looking similar, not nearly as significant an upside. So JNUG is weaker than NUGT recently, and that is a flip from what we had been seeing for a long time between those two names. But we have the higher lows still maintained, and we can see 1083 is that must-hold level, and we keep bouncing above that level. And if we close below it, JNUG is going to be bearish. So looking at the bear miners, bulls bought the gap down in a big way. General rule of thumb from my mentor teaching me way back was gap downs are for buying and gap ups are for selling. And more often than not, the odds will be in your favor using that rule of thumb. And here was an example of that. JDST still needs to break this 100-day moving average resistance and break the lower high pattern. The day that JDST closes above $30 is going to be a significant bullish break. Dust needs that middle Bollinger Band. We've rejected from it a half dozen times. That's at $39.62. Trying to build a base at $32 of support, but the lower high pattern is still intact, and we're going to see a clear break in one of these bull or bear miners, tightening patterns, likely within the next, I would say, 3 or 4 days, maybe by the end of this week if things really pick up. But the market is extremely strong, and if they continue to the upside, gold is going to continue to suffer, and the bear miners will be the play to be looking at. So I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in tomorrow after the close. Have a wonderful night.